What's going on, guys? Welcome back to LetDirtFly YouTube channel.
Well, today, as you can see, we got some boxes here.
Christmas was a couple months ago.
Well, you know what? Christmas come early for that thing. So basically today we're gonna unbox some of this stuff, show you guys what we got, go over, honestly, this box on the bottom here is from Quad Logic. I have no idea what they sent. I'm really looking forward to getting to that.
We actually, you'll see, it has not been opened. We said, hey, do you want to be a part of this build? They said, we got you. And that's all we know. So obviously these boxes are filled with basically all the parts we need to get the 2019 worst Can-Am Renegade on Facebook Marketplace back together.
So right now we are currently missing the ECU. We're also missing the case, which is down in North Carolina at Mr. RPM. He's going over the whole thing. Just want to make sure it's good for the build, and we should be getting that back this week. So hopefully the following week.
It's working on it as we speak, actually.
Yes, the following week we should be building this motor.
That's right. So what's the third thing?
Third thing is the exhaust.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yes, the new exhaust for this is shipped. It is not currently here yet.
So yeah, setting up selling the old Empire there. Actually, it wasn't even that old. It was pretty new.
Yeah, it was
but
pretty
it was in good shape and everything. Too loud for us. But so we're going to be getting more boxes on top of these boxes. But these are probably the most exciting ones. So
yes.
Without further ado, let's get you in here and let's go check them out.
All right. So this box here, I know what's in this. It's a big box, but I gotta tell you, I feel it's a little disappointing for as big of a box as it is.
Oh, is this what I think it is? Oh, it is what I think it is.
It is a whole mess load of plastic. And followed by seal kit.
That's disappointing.
That's what I'm saying. It's such a big box, and that's all it had. So, but we need it anyway. So
that is for the engine case and basically all the little components for that. Little seals and everything. We might as well replace all the seals while we're in there.
So this actually, all right, I know what this is.
Looks like it's packaged well.
Oh, it's packaged well. All right, so what do we got here? More tissue stuff. Actually, this is packaged really well.
Wow, okay.
If you look at that, that's actually really freaking good.
What do we got there? Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah.
That's a big hunk of metal.
So we got a new crank for this. Even though, honestly, when Marshall and I were looking over this crank, I took the rods off of it the other day, and that crank is
probably
almost
salvageable.
Perfect. We could have built this motor on that crank, honestly.
Oh, yeah, we probably just got sent that down to Mr. RPM, had him just make sure everything
I don't even think we would have needed to.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, here we go. Can-Am Park guy. We got a beer cozy. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sticker.
Oh, shoot, there's 5 horsepower right there.
Wait a minute. Oh.
Oh.
Look at that, a little flotation for the key.
It needs a new one, actually, funny enough.
We got a little letter in here.
They send that always.
Okay.
Little box.
I forget what's in this. Oh, all right, I know what it is.
Yeah, you're going to say you caught the side of it. So this is really important to replace anytime that you're building an engine that either had bearing material go through it, mud, anything like that.
Yep.
I saw some comments about it, but yes, we actually knew this already.
All right, so something that Marshall's going to reimburse me for because he sucks at it, state or not.
Wait, no, hang on. They already played with it, that's why I got screwed up. But then I finished it off with my...
You did finish it off.
Crank pulling tool, because I don't have the crank protector.
So.
Difference there.
So these are the spacers for the radiator.
Oh.
So.
Oh yeah, so that's for, because we're going to kind of make our own rad kit out of what's there already. All right, this one says Mr. RPM Cyclone.
Mr. RPM.
I like it.
Let's see, what do we got? Oh, this.
Tons of stickers. Oh yeah, they always send a koozie too. Rings. Yep.
So.
Gonna put some new rings in this bad boy.
2 sets of rings, 2 cylinders.
There is your...
These are the head studs that are falling out, so.
So one thing I did on my machine that we're also doing to test is because it makes sense is, yes, we're gonna need the spacers too, is to put head studs in rather than head bolts because these are actually reusable. So you can actually, if we ever had to open up the engine again for some reason, we are good to go. We always like to upgrade those two.
Valve cover, sorry.
The water necks.
Water necks.
Basically anything that can melt on these engines.
Yeah, so
I mean, the head studs though, so those are a nice upgrade over top of the head bolts. So this way, hopefully not, but if we ever have to go digging back into the engine again, we don't have to get all new bolts.
There's supposed to be bearings in this box.
It's in that.
Are these the bearings in this? Oh, okay. Bearings. So.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm missing something here. All right, so this one here is from my lifter. So he actually helped us out with not new parts.
Good used parts that are off of a skeg built beast of an 850.
Yeah, so he really did hook us up here.
Oh my lord. Isn't that one big bag?
Pretty much. All right, so
Go digging first.
what we got first?
That is the clamps for the, what's it called?
Lower steering bushing.
Yep.
Okay, so he gave us the reservoir
Oh,
and the rear brake,
okay.
the whole thing. Rear brake caliper.
I mean, that works.
That's cool. We just asked him for the reservoir, so that's actually pretty cool.
What's that? Oh, there's.
All right, here we go.
Okay, wasn't expecting all
Dude,
this.
Zach is like,
Dude, freaking
so
gave
we
us
just
extra
wanted
parts.
this,
The pitman arm and
the pitman arm. Now we got an extra set of tie rods, which is
even better.
pretty cool. Appreciate that.
Getting a little extras here.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, here we go.
All right, so this is where. There's one.
There's one. Not sure which yet, but that's one.
Calipers.
So this is one thing that I didn't talk about doing or anything.
I don't think they know what's actually in the quad currently. So I want to tell them about that.
Okay, so in the quad as it sits right now is a torque locker in the front.
They're good.
Because of the way I ride, I personally didn't feel like constantly changing axles. So Zach actually had a 4-lock front diff out of his 2021.
So this is going to be a huge upgrade. This is going to be the first time we have one of these bad boys on the channel.
Yep.
It's going to be good. So
Yeah.
basically, if you don't know about the 4-lock, I'm sure you do, but we'll fill you in real quick. But basically, this is Can-Am's latest differential for the front. And not only does it have Visco lock built into it, but it also has 4-lock built into it.
Yes.
So it's the best.
So it's a full locker on top of Visco.
Yes. It still does have Visco, I believe, right?
Yes. No,
Pretty
it's
sure
still
it does,
it's a
yes.
regular Visco differential, but then you can lock it and then it's complete lock. Yeah. So I'm taking out the torque locker
gonna
in
be
the
a
diff.
spare.
It's gonna be a spare diff. So when Marshall blows his,
Mine doesn't sound something up front doesn't sound good. I got axles on the way, but
I know my diff doesn't sound good. Hellboy either, but big shout out to Zach, My Lifter Garage, for all these parts. Really appreciate it, and I believe he will be sending down some of his own creations to us soon for testing. So, you know, make
we
sure
have
you
something coming for the quad. It's gonna be really cool.
yeah, make sure you follow him on Instagram and stuff like that, so that you can be in the know to what's coming, because I think you're gonna like it. As you know, we got a hole in the fuel tank. I picked this up plastic tank repair kit. Hopefully this thing is gonna work out. It's rated for fuel tank or oil.
And plastic. We're hoping it works.
It says plastic right there. So hopefully this will be able to fix it. Otherwise,
Hitting up my lifter again.
yes sir.
All right, now on to the big box that we literally do not know what's inside.
Let's find out what we got.
I'm excited. I'm actually gonna come over here and check this out. All right, well we got wrapping paper. Yay.
Yes, more paper.
This is a big box, so. Oh.
All right. Well, what's in this? Go ahead, grab that.
We're gonna grab this box first. I have no idea what this is. It's light, very light. It says Gen 2 Renegade front grille.
Look, right.
So-
That's good.
The paper. I think this. Oh. Ah. Hang on, that's one piece of it. Oh, dude, this is gonna look bad. Dude, this overlays that like that. Oh my god.
That's pretty bad.
That's gonna look sick.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God.
And hardware to go with it.
Of course. Quadlogic's always good with their hardware.
Yes.
Ooh, this is something important right here.
What do you got?
So, got the first episode. But you didn't really go over it much, but the seat on this thing.
I put my thumb through it.
You did in the first 5 seconds. So this is actually a seat cover from Quadlogic. I don't know, actually we won't pull it out right now, but basically it's a complete replacement seat cover for the Renegades, which is cool. So
I think it's pretty much your plain basic black. So.
yeah, it's just black, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see what else we got. Oh, here, do you actually want to see? We're just going for it, I guess.
What's that?
I didn't know if you were gonna go right for it or gonna. So these are the footwells for Quadlogic for the Renegade. So
Let's see.
these allow up to 32s.
They say they allow 32s.
Which is basically the biggest we'll ever. Oh God, this thing pulled me forward. Basically the biggest we'll ever go. Damn.
Look at that.
That's beef.
That is nasty looking.
So one thing that's always nice that we love with Quadlogic footwells, that's the reason we started using Quadlogic in the first place way back in the day, is they have a very OEM fit and finish to everything. So
They do.
So we don't like to have stuff that looks like it was just literally like some crappy pieces of metal welded together or anything like that. We like something that's got a little bit more of a fit and finish. I mean, you can see. And another thing too is their branding. They're not trying to throw stuff in your face.
Yeah.
Literally, that's the only thing on the whole footwell. I don't even know if you guys can see that, but it's their gear icon.
The other thing I do like about Quadlogic is they actually give you, can you turn that?
Oh, yes.
They actually give you
Drainage.
pretty good drainage here.
Yeah, it's not this like, some guys literally have this like some stamp stuff in the bottom and some just like random holes. That's actually like, that looks cool. It's got some design to it and everything.
Yep.
And the side's got some nice beef to it too. It's all triangulated actually, which is even more.
It's even more beefy.
More beefy, but just gives it a very OEM look, which is sick. So
Yeah.
these are gonna be awesome. I just totally hit my mic.
Nice.
Dude, there's like 6,000 horsepower in stickers in
We
here.
got tons of stickers. tons of stickers.
If you guys are coming to Busco, we'll have some of these with us. We can give them out to you guys.
Something here.
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff here.
We got a billet dipstick.
Oh yeah.
Actually pretty freaking cool. I don't know if you can see it through the plastic or not, but we're gonna give all these a little bit more attention as we do the installs and everything. We'll show you all these parts as we go.
These are bolts, I'm pretty sure, for the grill, maybe, possibly, because no.
No, I know what these are for. They go with this.
What's this? I didn't know about this. What is this?
I don't know.
Do I know what this is? I probably know,
Flat
but
banana.
oh, that's nice. So obviously we always convert our stuff over to synthetic rope, which this quad already is, but it's getting a whole new winch.
Yes.
But what do you call it? So this is a synthetic rope fair lead for the quads, and that looks
nice. It's black.
That's like probably one of the nicest ones I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking sweet.
So this is something I actually was one of the first people to have on my machine. These are actually the production ones. These are billet cam chain tensioners, which are really sick. So actually mine didn't even come with the gaskets or anything. They just literally sent me the units. This is the full thing with the springs. This is nice. So while doing the engine up, basically we want to try to convert anything that's like plastic on the engine over to metal. So this way, with extreme heat stuff, it's not going to warp and leak over time. So this is really cool stuff to do that.
That's great.
And I think the last
thing we have is actually Quadlogic
billet
brake lever.
Yes.
Billet.
That looks.
You want to show them a little closer?
Yeah, let's take her out, man. They like their billet over there quite a lot.
They do. They like their billet.
I'm about to order one for mine. Damn, look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but damn.
Like again, we'll show you guys more.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some shorts on some of the easier installs and stuff.
Yep.
We're building the engine up. We're gonna be showing you guys like the cam chain tensioners, all that fun stuff.
Yep.
We're actually doing a full dedicated video on the footwell, so we're actually gonna put the stock ones back on, do the whole swap over and everything. So that'll be cool. And yeah. All right, so now we got all the parts opened up. Now we can actually finally start moving in a forward direction with this quad. Well, somewhat. Seth's gotta take apart all this. It's already loose, actually, most of it.
That side's loose, this side's not.
But yes, so he's gonna start swapping in the front diff, because right now it's a super easy time to do so.
Absolutely.
Then you gotta do some work on the rear diff, right?
I do. I'm gonna pull the rear diff. I need to put it looks like it's leaking a little bit, so might as well just put seals in it, make sure it's
The seals
good.
themselves are cheap, so
Yeah, so we're gonna pull the front diff, pull the rear diff, get both of those out, change the front, seal the rear, put it back in, Marshall's gonna start on the gas tank, which
I'm dreading.
I'm glad I'm not doing.
So yeah, we got the quick steel plastic tank repair kit. It's rated for gasoline and everything, so it's meant to do this. Apparently people online have had great luck with it. Now we're hoping to have the same. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure, I'm gonna read the instructions 20 times, make sure we got this down pat before I actually go ahead and dive into the job. But then also we wanna make sure it cures plenty of time. Then we're gonna do a pressure test, make sure we have no leaks, and if she passes the pressure test, we're gonna be golden. We don't have to buy a new tank, which is nice. So
yeah, so we're gonna give it like 2 days to cure, pretty much.
Whatever the directions say, we're gonna follow them.
I think the directions say 24 hours, but we're gonna give it a little longer.
Yeah, we'll give it longer than what they say just to make sure. Yeah. But right now, let's go ahead, cue the time lapse, and let's go ahead, dig in.
Alright guys, so we got the Visco 4-lock front diff in. I ended up taking the other side off, the upper A-arm off, which gave me a lot more room to get it in. So if you're going to do it from the left side. It seems to be a lot easier, but she's in, she's tied down. That's as far as I'm going to get today. Unfortunately, I was hoping to get farther on this, but yeah, so this took a lot longer than I had expected to. So, you know, tomorrow's another day. So I'll get back over here and get back to wrenching. Get this front back together and start getting the rear out. So also, just to give you a look at this, Marshall patched the gas tank. It looks good for now. We'll see what it actually does when we pressure test it. This stuff required 1 hour to cure. We're gonna give it like 48, at least before we pressure test it. So, but that looks good. So that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for today. Not the video, just today. Gotta go home and have dinner with the family.
The following day.
All right, so got the front end back together. Gonna need to get the bolts for the caliper on that side, and we're gonna have to go back and get a wheel bearing for this. We thought we had one, but we don't. No big deal. So we're gonna move on to the rear diff now. We're gonna pull that out. I got seal kit for it, so pull it out. Probably split it in half, because Marshall just split the one from the 850. That was basically.
Talk about what I just found.
It was basically like if you just squoze a whole thing. Squeezed? What would it be? Squoze?
The fact I'm wearing a gas mask should explain everything.
So basically it looked like it was full of grease. No diff fluid. It literally was like grease, which is absolutely disgusting. So we're going to take this one out. We're going to split this one in half. Make sure it's not full of mud like that one. And just do the seal kit on it. Make sure everything's good. And we'll throw that back in. So check it out.
Welcome back to another episode of Kill Me Now. I don't want to touch another Can-Am in my life.
Oh, stop it.
So, more disassembling, unfortunately. All because it looks like they might have pulled this tank once, and the bottom tab isn't lined up for the bottom of the tank, which I don't love.
Basically, we're pulling this tank because Marshall's a perfectionist, is really why.
Well,
The tank is bolted on the bottom, it's just on the wrong side.
it's not even being supported at all right now.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Really? It's not supported?
This is dangling in there right now.
It's dangling? It's sitting on two freaking brackets.
We're probably gonna have to pop the upper frame support. If I can bend this down and pass, because it looks like they broke the bracket a
Yeah,
little
they
bit.
did break it.
So this, can I get the bolt pushed through? Actually, let me see if I can do that.
Yeah, you're doing all that to yourself.
I know, but yeah. I'm trying to see if I can push, because the spacer and the washer are loose from that, so if I can get the bolt to push through that little thing. All right. Oh, this is fine. They pinched a wire in the, God help me.
What?
We're gonna have to
Pinch the
undo
wire in the frame?
Yeah, we're gonna have to undo that, so I'm sure that's popping a fuse. Because dude, it's literally pinched in the frame.
Right there.
Well, yeah, it's like, yeah, the whole thing's going through it.
Well, Marshall, it's got to be held on there somehow.
All right, so we ended up getting the diff back in. We got the gas tank re-secured properly now, so I had to loosen this all up. It's all nice and tight again. Now we're actually going to start getting the trailing arms back together, all that fun stuff. And then today, being that we got at least one rear brake, we're actually going to get the brakes split in the rear and go through those, make sure everything looks good, and get them working, and basically try to see if we can turn this thing into a roller again.
Yeah.
Because actually, Seth, technically, because we're all done back here, once we put the pump back in, we can put the rear plastics back on, unless you want to leave them off for now.
No. Are they? They're not in the way for this.
No, for the engine, no.
Okay. Then
You can squeak it in there. I did it with the plastics were on when I pulled
Yeah,
it. So
you know what? Let's just keep.
plug in where we can.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so as you might be able to see, we made a lot of progress here. Now, the one thing we got to make sure we made progress on, before we go too far,
It's gas
is
tank.
the gas tank, yeah. So
Yeah.
right now I'm going to go ahead and pressure test this. We got this set up a little bit different than last time, so hopefully it should go a little bit smoother. Let's see if I can get my air chuck in here. How'd this get in there so easily last time? There's pressure in there for a second. It's a little tough to get it in here. I don't hear anything.
I don't see any bubbling either.
No. You know what you do? Spray underneath the tray here, the back side, because that's the side that I couldn't get to as much, just to make sure.
No, try to get some in the gas tank. I don't see anything.
I don't hear anything. I don't see anything. I think we're good.
All right, so basically at this point, give you guys an update on what has actually happened at this point.
A lot has happened off camera.
So at this point, we have taken the front diff completely out, replaced it with the torque locker, which I think
not the torque locker,
sorry, we took the torque locker out and put the Visco 4-lock in. Had to rebuild a bunch of stuff in the front end, grease fittings that weren't there.
Yeah, from the factory, we think the grease fittings were installed correctly incorrectly, because the two sides were flip-flops. So we had to literally flip-flop them. One snapped, of course, luckily.
Of course.
Came out. But did that. We also got a new pitman arm in there.
Yeah,
out
so
of a 2022.
So the lower pitman arm is out of a 21, we believe.
Or 2022. My lifter's quad.
And I had an upper steering stem.
That was wore out.
It's that.
Now this thing's smooth, no more clickiness, and we didn't even finish tightening it up yet.
Redid both of the bushings, so steering is back together.
Basically it for the front side. But just to do all that, the whole front suspension basically had to come out.
Everything had to basically come out. Yep. And then we came back here, we pulled the rear diff out, resealed it. Actually looked really good inside.
Yeah,
we actually opened it up, cleaned it.
We couldn't believe it, actually.
That was really clean. So, redid all the seals, put that back in.
The whole rear back together. Obviously the gas tank. So we're still waiting on a front caliper for this thing. We got the rears in. We actually went ahead and bled the brakes out. And now, once that squeeze the lever,
there's something there.
We have brakes.
Don't know how good it is, but there's something there.
Yeah, might have to re-bleed them, but everything feels pretty good off the bat here. Like I said, we pressure tested the tank. Yeah, so we've been just doing a lot off the camera. We started getting this all back together. So that's all good. And I think now that the tank pressure tested good, we're gonna plug the harness in, get the fuel line back on, get that basically ready to go for when the engine's done.
Yeah.
So basically at this point it's a roller released.
It will be when we throw those cryptids on it.
Let's do that.
So we can actually move it.
Yes,
pressure wash it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what we gotta do right now actually is pressure wash, just since this is gonna be the last nice day for a little bit. All right guys, so that's gonna wrap up another video on reviving this poor old worst Can-Am Renegade on Marketplace. So with that, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. We really appreciate the support. Seth, where can they catch us on the interwebs?
You can catch us on Instagram and Facebook. Shoot us a message. We'll always try and answer as soon as we can.
So with that, we'll have to catch you guys next time on
LetDirtFly.
Have you forgotten where you were when I was down? Well,